Hey everyone, welcome to a Wednesday night edition of Market Stats and MOFIRS. But I usually do this on Tuesdays, and yet we had a great session with Gary yesterday, and I want to share something with you. And I want to talk about what a MOFIR is in case this is your first time with us. You ever watch that show NCIS and Leroy Gibbs gives a head slap to Anthony DiNozzo? We had that moment in the room with Gary Keller on Tuesday because Gary asked some questions about numbers that he shared with us at MegaCamp, and nobody had them internalized. Nobody could answer the questions. And for me, I'm going, whoa, okay. Because if we're really going to be the trusted economists, we got to internalize these things because they're going to be fundamental in our messaging and our MOFIRs. Now, here's what we have to do. MOFIR stands for making offer for immediate response. Now, it starts with a message. Now, we want to have a message that matches the market, meaning what's the market doing? What's the opportunity? And the MOFIR is the invitation to engage with us to explore that opportunity. So we make an offer for immediate response. And so next couple of sessions, we're going to dive into some of those things. Gary said, hey, we got to know, we got to understand this and be able to speak to it. And so we're going to start with today. We're going to look at where things reported for August, why things feel so different, and why we're going to be in a goofy market again, probably within 24 months. And so the message is window of opportunity. And the MOFIR is if you're intending to buy a home in the next 24 months, now is the time to have a strategic meeting. And then you can tell them why and see who that attracts. So let's go to work here, and let me pull up some stats here for you. And we've covered this little stats area before. We've got the latest update on the numbers. Texas Real Estate Research Center, great source. Go to data, go to housing activity, and we're pulling up Williamson County, and it gives you some great info. The month, how many sales occurred, the dollar volume, average median price. And when we get 2015, it starts giving us total listing and months of inventory data. So let's take a look at what our market's been over the long haul. Now, even going back to 2015, we were in a strong seller's market, less than 2 months of inventory. And if you go along here, we never really creep up to 3 months of inventory. We just touch it in July of 2017. Other than that, we barely touch 3. Here's another couple of times we touched 3. And so we've had a sustained seller's market for many years. And all that has to do with the attractiveness of Central Texas, people moving to the greater Austin area for lifestyle, for employment, for tax climate, all those reasons. And then let's go to just pre-COVID. So pre-COVID, and these are just things to internalize. You don't want to get that head slap moment from Gary and not know your market, not be the real estate expert. So December, we ended December with 1,100 sales in December, a median price of $386,000, 1,800 listings, and 1.8 months supply of inventory. COVID hits, and then as we know, by summer, the inventory is being absorbed like crazy. Look at the number of listings declining dramatically, sales coming up, and inventory being held back too, because people just are afraid to get in the market. They don't know what to do. And then once the inventory gets so low, people are holding back in the market because where am I going to go if I even sold? So a lot of refinancing, people staying put. And we see inventory levels drop to, look at this, January 2022, 319 listings, essentially a 10-day supply, 305 listings, 10-day supply. And then as things begin to shift, we find ourselves today with 3,100 listings, 10x what we had here. And in such a short period of time, it feels crazy. Now we got to watch that trend. And yet we still look at sales activity, and we're still just below 1,000 units. And at 3,139 listings, it's just a 3-month supply. Now, it's not a 10-day supply. And so that means houses aren't going to sell over the weekend. You're not going to send folks to Kalahari for the weekend, come back and let's go through your 23 offers. What is going to happen is the top 10% of these 3,100 listings maybe the top 2%, they're going to get multiple offers because they're the absolute best. They're in the right neighborhoods. They're priced attractively. They didn't get into goofy overpricing. Those listings will probably have multiple offers. And yet there's going to be a lot of opportunity to negotiate. I'll be putting an article in Facebook tomorrow, a Lennar Home article about the concessions they've been having to make in different markets to move inventory. And so I believe the MOFIR here is this, folks, is window of opportunity. Well, that's the message. The message is window of opportunity. The MOFIR is we are probably, I guess the MOFIR would be this. If you intend to buy a home in the next 24 months, please set up a strategic meeting. There is a window of opportunity that may not be here 24 months from now of selection and negotiation and choices. And if you have any intention to purchase in the next 24 months or sell, it's a great time to meet because prices are still sustained. You can go to that same report, and I'll go back there one more time. You can go to that same report, and for a seller, the median price is $475. We began the year coming out of December at $441. So median prices are still up, and yet it had peaked up about $510. Earlier in the year, it's now receded to $475. So window of opportunity is also for sellers as much as it is for buyers. And we're going to go talk more about the inventory section on our next session next week. But start coming from the message of the moment, the match to match the market is this window of opportunity. If you don't want to get caught up in the crazy bidding, if you still want to get top dollar for your home, the time may be now. Is it the right time? Let's set a strategic meeting if you intend to do anything in the next 24 months. Folks, I believe that 24 months from now, because builders are pulling back because of what's happening currently, we're going to be right back in tight inventory times. And it truly is a window of opportunity for the right situations, for the right people. And we just have to get that message out and make the offer to invite them to engage with us. So we'll see you next time on Market Stats and MOFIRS.